Hello, ladies. Good morning slash afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
So it's cloudy and foggy here in California. How is it where you guys are?
It's rainy here in New Jersey too.
Oh, well, it's cold in Toronto in the Great White North.
Wow. So we're all missing a little vitamin D today, but that's okay. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for those of you tuning in, welcome. I'm Justine Sanfilippo, health coach and nutritionist, and author of the book, Lose Your Inches Without Losing Your Mind. I have Kajenwa and Jennifer here of Dash Public Relations that have been doing my program. It's based on 10 weeks, and this week we're in week 9. So we're going to check in and see how their progress has been. Oh, and my website's happyhealthypeople.com to check that out. So last week we talked about cravings, binging, other foes of losing your inches, things that can come up in life. Jen, you were working on having some more water, adding another bottle of water there, and also portioning out. You discovered cashew milk ice cream, so you were portioning that out. And then you discovered when you had a chocolate that you used to have, it actually made you feel not very good this past time. So how was this last week for you?
It's been pretty good. I've increased my water, so I'm almost at human levels now. I'm at 3 bottles a day. The chocolate, I didn't even eat it again because I don't want to get sick like that again. So that's just not there. So that's maybe the universe or God's way of saying, let me help you out a little bit. Don't eat this stuff anymore. So my cashew milk ice cream, we had a brief conversation about this, Justine. I've been feeling really bloated the past, I'd say 2 weeks. And at first I thought it was just, monthly female time or stress. And then I really took a look this week at what am I doing that's different? What am I eating that's different that could make me bloated? Because the first couple of weeks of this program, I felt fantastic. And so what I noticed was my dairy intake has been through the roof. And as somebody who has been lactose intolerant for years, I had completely cut out dairy. And over the past few months, I rediscovered lactate. I don't like soy milk. I find it gritty. I don't like almond milk or rice milk because I find it oily. So I've been drinking the lactate, even though it's fat-free. I'm having like a bunch of bowls of cereal a day or cooking with it in eggs. I've also been having my cashew milk ice cream, which was fantastic. And I think that might really be the reason why I've been feeling so bloated, because it's the only thing I'm doing differently. And it's gone from like 0 to 100 in terms of being able to eat it. Oh, and the vegan butter because it's dairy free.
Yes, so that would probably, so what's interesting about the body is it adjusts to our new habits, right? So I'll give an example. The dairy is probably why you're experiencing the bloating. So it could be more than just the lactose in milk that you're reacting to, like with the lactate and things like that. So you may want to, even if it's like a coconut milk, or just try something like just sort of get off the whole sort of dairy spectrum for a bit and kind of see how you're feeling there. But one thing I would used to do with clients a lot is I would do something called a dairy experiment. So if they had a feeling maybe I'm sensitive to dairy, I would say, okay, so just cut it out for like a whole week. And then on the 8th day, you reintroduce it. And what happens is that the effects you feel are sort of exacerbated. So normally if a person feels like they have to blow their nose a lot, or maybe have headaches or feel kind of stuffy, and they think that's normal, or they have like a little bloating, if they cut out the dairy and then have it on the 8th day, then all those things they thought were normal will sort of be a little bit, more than usual. So, and I could use the example too of gluten. Like I really can't have gluten, but sometimes I'm like, oh, just a few bites are okay. And then I'm reminded very quickly of why I don't have gluten is because it really hurts my stomach and makes it like bloated and like puffy and stuff like that. So then I'm quickly reminded why I don't have gluten. So that is probably it. So knowing this, what do you think you might do?
I'm just going to cut it out for the week again. I mean, I've lived without it for 5 years. So I would be very interested. I can do it. It's not something that's going to be that hard for me to do. It's become a luxury for me to be able to have this stuff now. So yeah, I'm just going to cut it out and I'll let you know next week how it goes.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for that. Now, Ms. Kajenwa, I believe last time you were going to the gym more often and really enjoying that. So how was this past week for you?
Yeah, great. Life changes, of course, a little bit of travel with the baby and so on, make it difficult to kind of stay on track always. Like I said last week, I'm starting to crave them, and I plan to, that you can go to Toronto.
Baby, you're good now. Just take 2.
So I discovered that there's a Planet Fitness in Toronto, and of course I'm so excited to join Planet Fitness in Toronto. So there's no excuse. I've gotten rid of the excuse problem in my mind, and I'm fixated about getting to the gym. I do have to be at a beach this summer, so I'm really motivated to put on a good bathing suit and be happy with that. I'm also working on some shakes, I guess, since we talk about juicing. Juicing is juicing, and you need a good juicer. But every now and then I use my blender and produce a shake. And I put some kale in there. Justine, maybe you can let me know if it's a good blend or mix. A little bit of kale, a little bit of banana, some protein powder, some 2% milk, and I think a dash of maple syrup just because I need that sweet kick, and that's just me. And I blend everything up and then get my protein real quick. So maybe you can let me know whether that's a decent option for a shake.
Yeah, I think that sounds great. I mean, kale is such a super healthy dark green. You get tons of nutrition and vitamins from that. The banana offers a little sweetness. A little bit of maple syrup is totally fine. Protein powder is great. And then, yeah, you can have milk. Great. If a person can't have milk, they can try, like a cashew milk, almond milk. I stay away from the soy milk, really, and the rice milk tends to have a lot of sugar. So I think that option sounds wonderful, and good job for figuring out how to work out even when you're traveling.
Yeah. I have to say, I was so proud of her. We had a couple of meetings this week, and, having so many different clients, I'm at one location and she's at another, and then we reconvene in the evening to talk about what happened that day or what's going to come up the following day. And I'm on the phone with her and I hear like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm on the treadmill. I was like so proud, that now we're taking calls when we're exercising. So good job, Kajenwa.
That is really cool.
And good job to you, because you were also on the treadmill one time. I saw you.
Yeah, I mean, we sounded like, herding buffalo, but we got through it.
That's awesome, guys. And also there's something you could do called stand-up meeting. So you could, walking on the treadmill is great too, super. So let's talk real quickly about week 9. So it's called juicing, going organic, and vitamins and supplements. We touched a bit on the juicing / a shake in a blender, the NutriBullet. Anything like that is just a really quick way to get in some nutrition. So you want to do more greens in there versus like all fruits, because it's just like really all sugar. And make sure there's some protein in there. Avocado in a shake is really delicious. It has no distinct flavor, but it really offers some nice creaminess and some healthy fats there too. So that might be something to consider. And then going organic. So a lot of people I work with, they're on a budget and concerned about, what do they really need to get organic? And yes, organic produce and foods is more expensive than conventional. So I really just go with what your budget is. I mean, if you have food and products that are produce that's in season, it's always cheaper, even if it's conventional or organic. It's cheaper than during the rest of the year. Farmers markets are a great way to get in some healthier options, more on a budget, and sometimes you can negotiate with the vendors. And also considering, let's say like there's an apple tree or like an avocado tree. So you want to consider like what the actual produce looks like. So if it has sort of a hard peel or rind around it, it has a little bit more protection from the pesticides and herbicides and things like that versus like a lettuce leaf. So you just want to think about if something's going to be sprayed, does it have any protection on it? If not, yeah, like lettuce, grapes, apples, I'll pretty much always do those organic. One, they taste better. They just do. And two, you're not just ingesting all those pesticides, which we really want to try not to do. And then I touched on vitamins and supplements. So there's so many different kinds of vitamins we can have, and it can be very overwhelming. Ideally, you get most of your nutrition from foods. Ideally, you get most of your nutrition from foods. But if you want an additional supplement, like a good multivitamin, multimineral could be a good idea. You want it to be from food, so not like the cheapest version. Like you want the vitamin to actually be from food. A vitamin D is always a good idea, especially if you're in Jersey or Toronto or where you don't see the sun very much. A lot of people these days are vitamin D deficient because we work indoors. Even when I was living in Texas, like my vitamin D was low, and you get sun like 360 days a year. So if you feel just kind of like blah, it's always a good idea to get your vitamin D checked with your doctor. And then if they need to boost it, it's really easy. Go ahead.
I'm finding that I'll even pop a capsule in Kaya's mouth when I'm like, you're cranky, like you're really, really mean. And I give her vitamin D, and I guarantee you the next day she's in better spirits. She's more fun to be around. She's more pleasant. So it's interesting to observe that in an infant. And I myself, when I feel a little bit depressy, actually, I find that the vitamin D very much helps.
Yes, absolutely. So in regions where you don't get a lot of sun, there's something called seasonal SADD, or seasonal affective disorder. Basically, it's if you don't get enough sunlight, you could kind of feel like depressed, or feel like you have no energy, or feel like you don't want to go anywhere. So when I was in college, I went to Notre Dame, and you have like no sun except for maybe a few weeks near the end of school, and I wasn't feeling good. So, the solution at that time was to go tanning once a week. And I wasn't thinking beyond that, but I was just thinking I didn't feel good. So now we have vitamin D that's easily to take. So, and it's also really good for boosting the immune system. If you feel like you get sick a lot, vitamin D will help boost that as well. And a couple other supplements like omega-3 is always really great too. It's great for the skin and great for the brain and great for reducing inflammation. So thinking about all these things, let's figure out what you guys want to focus on for this coming week, or if you have any questions on anything I just discussed. Go ahead.
Well, I am definitely, like I said, my big goal this week is to eliminate the dairy and see if that makes a difference. Vitamin D, like you said, I actually just found out, I think I may have mentioned it in a previous video, that I'm very vitamin D deficient. I had a complete blood workup done for my annual physical, and I never even knew that was a thing. And I think the low is like 30, and I was at 14.5. So I was half of what the lowest is supposed to be. So I just got some vitamin D, and I'm going to be popping those babies and hoping for a bright sunny day, even though it's raining.
Well, that's great. And also when you have the vitamin D, it's a fat soluble vitamin. So if you have it with a little bit of fat when you take it, or like right before or after, it kind of helps everything absorb, and then it gets stored. So it's really easy to sort of build up your stores of the vitamin D. Ooh,
so it's like secret vitamin, like secret pill. That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. We love little secrets.
Okay, Jenna, you're a little bit sideways.
Am I?
Now you're straight up. Yeah, now you're good. So why don't you tell us what you're going to focus on this week?
Okay, great. So yeah, no, totally in concordance with the vitamin D option. It's my secret pill. It's actually my antidepressant thing that I use. My thing is going to be doing more shakes, staying consistent with the gym. I'd like to up the quotient from 2 to 3 times a week. And I would like to charge up my protein. So I ordered, for example, a baked chicken. Often in New York, you can go straight to the grocery store and get a baked chicken. And I'll eat that, with a piece of pumpernickel bread instead of the pasta or the hamburger option, just to get more lean is what I'm after.
Okay, wonderful. All those goals sound super. Can't wait to hear about your different shake options. All right, so we are ending week 9, and we will chat again soon in week 10.
Yay, bye.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Tone it up, and say with me on 3, tone it up Tuesdays.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Tone
Tone it up Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.